Hey guys, Patrick Donovan, EXP Realty, part of the Johnson Group here in Savannah, Georgia, with Brandon Giebler from Next Move. What's up, buddy? How you doing?
I mean, I was doing better before I watched all these videos, but I'm okay. I can't complain. How are you?
I'm doing good. I watched this bunch of videos too, not as much as you have, but today we're going to be talking about data centers. And Brandon, you want to put out a disclaimer on that one, didn't you?
I just want to preface this is a YouTube university degree type thing. Like, we just watched a bunch of YouTube videos and what everybody's saying on the videos and asking ChatGPT what it's finding. So, a lot of what you're seeing is ChatGPT stuff, which we don't always agree with, but we're happy to commentate on it for you, give our opinions. Just want to preface.
Absolutely. And actually, I did call a real estate agent from my old hometown where they are, they're in the midst of getting data centers and asking him his opinion. So we got some different sources here. So I'm pretty excited about it. Then after that, well, we are going to have Thomas, according to Thomas Sanford from DR Horton, or better known as Tommy, coming on, talk about some DR Horton incentives and all that good stuff. So super excited about that. So let's just get started. What is a data center? And if you're watching, please comment down below. This is one of those that we're hoping to generate a lot of conversation, because once again, YouTube University, maybe your YouTube University is better than our YouTube University. I'm not sure. Maybe you have some experience. That'd be great for you. Give us your opinion, give us some comments, maybe give us some perspective. We don't know. So super excited. Like I said, once again, please comment down below. So here we go. A data center is a giant digital warehouse filled with servers that store, process, and move data that we use every day. Streaming, banking, TikToking, Googling, cloud storaging, smart devicing, AIing, and more. So that's what a data center is. Let me ask you something quick, Brandon. Do you have a problem doing any of those things right now?
I mean, I wouldn't take all the crappy parts of it so that my videos download or upload like a millisecond faster. No, I don't. I don't have problems. I just buy more cloud storage if I need it, but I don't have issues. I think it uploads and downloads fast enough. I'm okay.
Right. Well, I mean, I remember when I went to school and we did dial-up. So in college, my first go around, we had dial-up. So when you talk about dial-up, if you've ever been to college in the 90s, let me know whether or not you remember dial-up internet rooms in college. It was pretty awesome. Hey, Josh, thank you so much for coming. I appreciate it. No to data centers. Thank you very much. I agree, obviously, in my area at least.
I'm a bit younger, so I didn't really have to go through the dial-up era, but I know what it is.
Right, you've heard it in memes and whatnot. I got you.
Yeah.
All right,
of course. So these are the facts that we've come across. So agreed, there's a massive electricity use that comes from these data centers, a heavy water consumption. Obviously, it needs the water to cool the little things down, whatever, and then very few employees. So you're going to have a lot of electric use, a lot of water that may or may not come back into the environment. Great. And very few people getting paid for it, besides the people who run and own and operate the things. So we do know that they need the high capacity power grid, the fiber broadband connectivity, the access to water for the cooling, huge parcels of land that could be someone's first time home at an affordable rate, maybe. Wink, wink, maybe. And then the local government tax abatements. It says often, but I think that's the only reason why they're here is the local government abatements.
Right. Josh says, I'm younger than you and I had to deal with dial-up, haha. And hello, y'all. Says, I know I've been watching. All right, she's been on watching. Yeah. All right. Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, you got the hey. Yeah, so a lot of these things, I don't know yet. Like I said, here's the false preconceptions, right? Data centers create tons of jobs, which they do not. Now, they create tons of jobs when you're building the massive building, right? But they do not create lasting jobs, right? The lasting jobs from anywhere from 20 to 50 to watch computers compute stuff, right? They're quiet and clean. That is half true. They don't
Half
produce smoke or traffic, but they do produce humming sound. And we're going to
hum.
kind of show a video here real quick.
Free
Which,
Google storage for life.
It's said good fences make good neighbors.
This is one of the closest sites, and we're about 700 feet from the data center right here.
But these neighbors say not good enough to quiet the noise next door.
It's just really, really loud.
This Amazon Web Services data center and others in Northern Virginia have also been generating rumbles of complaints from the community.
Not something that we should have to live with.
I'm finding that the noise is far worse than anybody ever figured it was going to be.
It does not have to be that noisy.
So what is it about that tone that makes it so tough for some neighbors to tune out? And can living with continuous hum really be harmful? We turn to the research, the scientists, and the
Look at the
scholars
numbers.
to verify.
Watch the numbers.
With producer Bryce Robinson, we measured and analyzed the noise right alongside the data center.
Like you just got this huge.
It's so quiet.
From the yards of
So
Great
quiet.
Oak, where we recorded lower decibels, but...
And from a frequency perspective, it's almost identical.
And in the Oak Valley subdivision, close to a proposed data site.
It's super quiet.
There's not a ton of research on.
so, according to these people that live in Virginia, it is not quiet. Then you also see these things on, and I want to show you something because this is why stuff is so confusing, right? People don't know what's going on because there's a lot of, I mean, I hate to say it, but the most powerful people in the world are trying to hide all the repercussions of everything, and then we're trying to hide it in a way that you don't understand. Let me just show you an example. I was looking up stuff on the internet too. Check this out, though. As I'm looking at this, right, I'm trying to find out if there's noise, right? Somebody asked the question, is there a bunch of noise around data centers? Like, no. But then you notice that one of them is a data center job bot answering saying, I actually have a Google data center that runs right into my backyard in Lancaster, Ohio. My neighbors and I say it's awesome all the time. Like, it's BS. You know what I'm saying? Like,
It's crazy how those spots get people.
yeah, like I don't know how bots own homes, but that's crazy, right? They're barely an impact on the environment. That's not true. Massive amounts of water and power use is real effects. Now, here's the thing. Like, so they're talking about, and I've watched the video talking about recyclers of this water. So, you know, you keep the water in there, but is there preservatives that they put in there to keep that same water? And then if they got that same water and they're putting preservatives, what happens to the waste? That's another thing. Okay. And then they lower home values. They say this is a false preconception. We're going to be talking about this. I'm not going to get into this right now, but I don't agree with what they say here that it doesn't lower property values. We're going to talk about that. So,
Right.
I don't want to get too deep into it now. Let's catch up with the comments. So, what's up, Tony? Thank you for joining us. I appreciate it. He says it needs a lot of power. So does
Good
Hello,
job,
y'all. And then they create a low hum that is continuously inundating. Right. And then think about it. Once you put it in,
It's in.
it's in. Oh,
It's
yeah.
like-
And Port Wentworth is constantly under boil water warnings. I didn't even think about that. Thank you for Hello, y'all, for bringing that up. I totally forgot. But so could you imagine now? I don't know.
Well, the little vent things would help your water boiling problem. I don't know. So let's get into the good, the bad, and the ugly. And because I'm the good one, I'll go over the goods, and then Patrick can have the rest. So okay. So what the goods is the massive tax revenue. So these big old companies provide a large source of money towards the county that it's in, so it can help improve the infrastructure that is needed. So I think all the money that's going into the city to create the infrastructure for this massive humming annoyance that's coming to your area, they need good roads, they need the fiber lines, the electrical upgrades, and the water and sewer improvements. So hopefully they're going to bring that with all the money instead of giving it to the community for other important things, but it's fine. It's it just drives me insane. I'm so angry from the last one I just watched. I'm sorry. So it's nearby neighborhoods can indirectly benefit. Yeah, you're going to benefit. So low traffic. So I don't think Port Wentworth is going to benefit from low traffic since it doesn't have low traffic as it is.
Right.
So you're gonna have this massive building that takes up so much square foot of this area that it won't need trucks to drive in and out, but you're still gonna have what you have now. So, but the one I would say I agree with number 4 is that they attract the tech ecosystem. So more data centers equals more fiber, the cloud resources, the corporate investments, and the potential future for tech employers. So more potential for the rich to get richer, but it'll bring stuff that will benefit us in a way, but not when it comes to the taxes and the bills and stuff, because those are going up. BTW.
Climate staffer 1087, thank you for watching. I appreciate it. Says Berkeley National Lab, which is a Department of Energy science lab, recently released a study on how data centers impact electricity prices. Might be good to review that if you go energy impacts. I agree. Like that's kind of the one of the thing I was going to say is that, like, when you're using power, if you need more in an area, and obviously the supply and demand are going to kick into effect, and if your area is using a ton of power, well, they're going to charge you more. Hello y'all says
6.5%.
What?
6.5% increase in your bill is what I came across. Yeah.
Whoa. From where?
On YouTube. I just watched the interview and they were talking about their power bill going at 6.5%. Same usage, same everything. Just went up.
All right.
It's
Hello
fine.
y'all says Hello, yes, the supporters would say that would help our infrastructure, but is it true for the overall environment and the comfort of living? Tony says, do we get a tax break since it's now an industry? That's what I was kind of trying to say. Like, so why are we giving them tax breaks? Them coming should give us tax breaks.
You are the tax break. You're paying for that.
Yeah, they get tax breaks, not us.
They get to buy things for cheaper and keep the upkeep for cheaper and the land for cheaper, but you're going to pay for it.
Yeah, that must have been a really tough video for you to watch because you are fired.
Oh my God. I'm like hot and it's like freezing in here. So mad.
All right, the bad, of course, we already know the power we've been droning on about, but like, okay, now that it requires all this power, do we need to require more substations? Is the substation could be put near here? Like, what does that mean? High water usage is another one that I just don't know, right? I hear that, there's technology where they can recycle it. There's technologies where they don't put anything in it, but nobody knows. This is the whole thing, the veil of secrecy behind everything. You can't find out exactly what any of these data centers could do. Hell, if you do enough research, you're going to find out you don't even know the names of the companies that own these data centers in these areas.
Unless you have an LLC lookup. I got LLC lookup.
Right. Noise pollution. We talked about that at length, and very few jobs, which you already know. Hello, y'all says these data centers have been popping up all over the place in Georgia. Anecdotally speaking, Georgia has not given large tax breaks to move industry like this before. Is that going towards these data centers now?
No, it's going towards Georgia Power, who is doing their thing to make money off of us.
They're using the data centers to make more money from us.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah. Just like the nuclear power plant that was supposed to save us money, but it was estimated like $1 million, 100 billion, whatever, under what it was supposed to be. But now we're making up for the shortfall that they thought it was going to cost. Good job, Georgia Power. Go Georgia.
And she also said, has the state made it more attractive for these businesses to come? I mean, probably. I would imagine. I mean, like, Georgia's a very pro-business state. So, but I just don't like the thought of being first to something. Like I don't want to be like at the beginning. You know what I'm saying? I would rather be like when they flush all these problems out. I
Like
don't
put it in
want to.
Springfield, not Port Wentworth.
Whoa, people in Springfield, man, I like that. You know what I'm saying? Just keep them in Statesboro, right next to the school,
Whoa,
so they can
people
get
in
fast
Statesboro don't
internet.
like
You get fast internet and TikTok and all over the place in Statesboro if they want.
that's how you support them getting their degrees, like faster internet.
Exactly.
Right out there.
The ugly tax abatements. That's what we're saying. Like, we don't know. What is that going to be? What's the deal? Who is it? Chatham County? Is it the city of Port Wentworth? Who is giving the state of Georgia? I don't know. All right. Some deals, they have 20-year tax break deals, complex bond and lease back arrangements. Some of these buildings, they're built for data centers. They might not even be owned. They might get leased out by and so it could be any, you don't know what's going on. And then, of course, public frustration because, well, what are we getting out of it? Like, are we
You're
getting
seeing it
jobs?
right
We're not getting
here.
anything.
You're seeing it right here.
And then this misinformation breeds panic. Residents often think it's like a factory. Well, it's not. It may pollute the air. It doesn't in the area where the data center is, but wherever they got to put new power stations, substations, I would imagine there could, I don't know. I'm not a power expert. And then my property values will tank. That's usually false, according to them. I don't agree with that. We're going to talk more about that. So I don't know that I agree with that, but we're going to talk about that in a little bit. Let me ask you a question and to put it in the chat. Do you think a huge data center right next to your neighborhood is going to hurt your values? Let me know.
Of course not. So we're going to go over the impact of the property values. So this is literally why I preface this whole thing, because I don't agree with any of it. So of everything I watched, so if the area is properly zoned, the residential values typically remain stable. So if they provide the buffers to control the noise, the traffic stays current, not low, and no high voltage lines pass through your neighborhoods, then you should be fine. Should be. So they're saying that the possible declines were only if the power substation is built directly against your home. They're not going to build it on top of your home, but they will build it within 150 feet from your home. Hopefully they fixed that by now. And the transmission lines run through your subdivision. So we like the underground utilities these days, so please don't do that. Y'all don't even have that. Y'all don't even have a lot of that out there. So I don't see like how that would.
Well, they're talking about big, like monster
Like
power lines and towers running through.
Yeah.
That's what they're talking about to bring the power.
They're in Springfield. Go to Springfield. And the heavy construction disrupts quality of life, which is definitely. I think that video spoke for itself. Like he wasn't right up against it. Like these people that I saw in the video earlier today. Like he bought his house and then they built a data center 150 feet off of his back deck. Like it's wrong. It's wrong. You just screwed this dude over.
It's kind of like sorry, we screwed your stuff up, but it's too late now. What are you gonna do? Kind of situation, right? Like, it's so sad.
And it's like what happens when the data centers come. Like that dude. Like we're screwed as the people. Like, but the community or whatever is like profiting and benefiting. It makes sense.
When it comes to impact on property values, and I just want to say this, and you can answer me in the comments however you want to do this, but if you want to buy a house, if you have a house and they want to build a jail next to you, what do you think that does to your property value? I mean,
I guess it depends on
how they build
one going to jail.
Say what?
I guess it depends on how often you have a family member that goes to jail.
Or say they build a nuclear power plant next to you. Is that good for your property value? Here's the thing. I don't think they are understanding that you eliminate. See, when you're in real estate and you're showing houses, there's things that people will eliminate houses right off their list if a jail's there, if a cemetery's there, if a, you know what I'm saying? Like, so like a data center with all the bad presses around it, you think that your home value is not going to be interrupted? It's not going to be a problem?
This is
Huh?
apples to oranges.
Well, that's comparing apples. Well, I'm just saying something negative coming across the street is not good. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying on your property value.
And if you're from the north, like it's okay. Like you're used to the noise. So like if you live in the city, you might like the hum. It might be soothing for you. And Rice Hope might be the new place for you. Yikes.
Would you want a data center built in your neighborhood? Comment, please. Let us know what you think. And also, we got Tommy coming on next from D.R. Horton. So if you have any questions about D.R. Horton, but by the way, before I get to that, listen, they're going to be talking about this next Monday at the Planning and Zoning meeting at 3:30 in the afternoon. 3:30 on Monday, December 15th. They're talking about this very issue at City Hall. You need to be there. If you're a Port Wentworth citizen, you should definitely go. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely.
And at least hear what they have to say and ask questions, because I think I'm going to ask questions. I'm on the Planning and Zoning Board, so obviously I'm going to ask questions. But like the people need to come and either support it or don't support it. I don't care either way. You're a citizen. You vote however you want. But this is the time. These are times when, whether you take your civic duty, serious or not, this is probably one of those times you might want to take a little bit more serious than most times. But
And if you need to, go on YouTube and watch the videos. People are miserable and kids are having nightmares because of it. Like this kid thought a spaceship was landing in his front yard because of all the vibrations that it caused to the windows and everything. Like,
if you don't want a data center, hit the like button. All right. And coming up next, like I said, is Thomas Sanford from D.R. Horton. So let's welcome old Thomas in here. Hold on.
Tommy.
Hey, buddy. How you doing? Welcome to the program. I appreciate you coming.
Hi,
Yeah, I
Thomas.
appreciate still having my professional name on there.
It's your government name. That's how they find you.
Yes, that's what it is. That's how they find me.
Let me real quick. I'm just going to catch up with comments and we're going to get into it. So, hello, y'all said I'd want to move if there's a data center. Kim, the hum is really what worries me. I physically would not be able to handle that. I work from home. There would be no relief. Oh, yeah.
I know a great agent for you.
People that have to work from home, that would be rough. And then she also says people who are neurodivergent will have a really hard time. So thank you for your comments. I really appreciate it, guys. Now we're going to focus on Thomas and his D.R. Horton products. So what's up, buddy? How you been?
Doing fantastic. Every day is a new day. And here at D.R. Horton, we are always striving our very best to make it just a little easier to get into a home than it might not be without us being out there with not only making the homes brand new so that they take a lot less trouble to deal with. They don't have to plan for new roofs, new air conditionings. We have lots of other incentives that make it just a little bit more palatable to just jump right into the fun of home ownership.
Who doesn't want to dive right in?
Yes, it's so exciting.
All right, Tommy. So I got a quick question. So what are the incentives going on this month?
So right now we have our Home for the Holidays event going on for all contracts written in December. Each different neighborhood is a little bit different, but everywhere you're going to get $10,000 towards flex cash, which you can use for rate buy downs from our already low rate. You could take the price of the house down a little bit, or you could even potentially use it to maybe add an extra thing in there. We don't have a lot of options, but at this point we can always ask and see what we can kind of get in there. So if you can think of it, we can ask for it and see where it goes. And then right now we have 2 neighborhoods that have up to $12,000. And then we have a little bit of a couple of options from there, but the maximum value is getting that $12,000. So you could technically get $22,000 towards your closing costs if there were that many closing costs on homes.
And you can use those. You can use that closing cost to buy down your rate and all that stuff.
Absolutely. Right now, our interest rate is particularly low. We're at a 4.99 rate. So that itself is a pretty nice start. But you can go down even further from there. The lowest that one will go is down to 4.5, which is a pretty darn good rate. And you'll still have more than enough with all of our extra incentives to cover every dollar of your closing costs. And then probably to do one of those other options, maybe take the house price down a couple of $1,000s. Just to save a couple of more dollars, because while spending money is truly the most fun you can have, saving money is the second thing. It's right in there for another cool thing you can do.
That's what's up.
Right, absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay, so with all the talk about the potential data center development in Port Wentworth and Pooler, how do you see the major project like this affecting new construction communities in our area?
Well, that's a good question. I can say that in the way the world that is now, that we have had one neighborhood where people actually got water before the internet lines were laid, and they actually were much more upset about not having the internet than not having water. So maybe if they didn't, the data center brings in faster internet speeds, that very well might be a thing that a lot of people do like. But certainly the things that y'all laid out, I mean, I didn't realize that they made that sound. I actually used to live right next to Truman Parkway, which does have a fair amount of sound, but it was cars going by, right? It's not a continuous thing. So I would pretend like it was waves in the ocean.
So you got a break.
Yeah, so exactly. Every now and then it would be different, but just a continuous hum. I mean, for the people who lived there before, I can see that would definitely be a bad thing. For anyone else, right, that's just the sound of the air out there. So, it's a little bit less of a negative to anyone else that's there after the sound exists, right? But certainly, having lived in places where it is quiet compared to places where it is noisy, it is noticeable. I moved out to Brooklet, right outside of Statesboro, when my wife was going to school, and we were truly surprised by how much quieter it is out there, having lived in Savannah our whole lives. So, noise is certainly a relative thing. We have a couple of neighborhoods that have a train track right next to them, and I'm thinking, no one will ever want that. I talk to a lot of people, and they're like, yeah, I used to live like to a train track. That's no problem.
Perfect.
Maybe if you live on an active ranch with lots of mooing.
For now.
Right, until the
data center comes in.
The cows might like the warmth.
I like your perspective on that. Like, it's kind of like the before and after kind of thing. I really like your perspective on that. I mean, you get used to stuff. I mean, I got used to a lot of things when I was in the Army, like bombs and bullets and stuff. It doesn't make it a good thing. You know what I'm saying? Just because you're used to it.
No, I currently live really close to the baseball field that's right next to my neighborhood. So we get a lot of that, light pollution, as they say. So I unfortunately don't see a lot of stars here, but I'm also used to that. But it's very exciting when I go their places and I'm like, stars, cool.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Oh my God. I know. Like, I know exactly what you're talking about. It's crazy. Tony said, Pat, that's a great photo behind you. Thank you, buddy. I appreciate it.
Oh my God, Tony.
All right, Tommy. For buyers who are on the fence because of interest rates, what strategies or incentives does D.R. Horton offer that make getting into a new home more achievable?
So first off, just having the newness of the homes just makes it a little bit easier. You're not having to go ahead and start budgeting for that air conditioning that is already 12 years old, or that roof that is getting towards the end of its life. But aside from that, again, really when you go to buy a home, typically there's 2 big numbers that you have to come up with. There's your closing cost number and there's your down payment number. We do offer USDA loans and VA loans. So sometimes that down payment number can be taken away, but in almost all cases, we have enough closing costs that will take that part away. So it just makes it a little bit more affordable. So instead of having to come up with twice as much money to get in, you only need half as much. And certainly, the big thing, as we all say to people, getting into home ownership is the number one step towards kind of getting your goals to where they need to be. Once you have a mortgage set, what it's going to be month after month after month. I know when I rented, every year we moved because I wasn't going to pay more for the exact same house, which you know that they're always going to call and say, hey, it's $50 more. And that's not a giant
Right.
jump, but it's the same
It's
house as far as
enough.
I'm concerned. So,
It's
you
enough.
know, exactly, it's not. So you can kind of lock things in, and then over time, right, you also get raises, so your mortgage stays the same, but you're getting paid a little bit more. So getting you in with less money up front makes it a little bit easier, so you don't have to wait as long to do so. And then having our 4.99% interest rate is just going to save you tons of money over time. I know that the mortgage rates are coming down a little bit, so that's exciting. And I would assume as that continues to happen, we'll continue to try and keep pace with our rate being a little bit lower than what's out there. But generally, our rate is going to save you even an extra, say, $75 to $100 per month. And that, of course, that's $1,200 a year that you're going to save that you can put back into your pocket. You can go on a nice vacation. You can have a cool steak dinner at the Ruth's Chris once. Yeah,
Just
once.
once.
It's pretty expensive there, right? It's $75 for the mac and cheese, but it's
Like-
delicious.
Beautiful nail. Just one.
Yeah.
So with all that being said, like which floor plans or neighborhoods are you seeing the most demand for right now, and what are your predictions for new construction coming in the first quarter?
Well, we typically actually have done kind of the same thing in just a few different areas, but we are starting to try to do a few different things in different areas just because everyone does want something different, right? Not everyone wants a 2-story home. Not everyone wants to have a home that the master bedroom is upstairs on that 2-story home. So as we are opening up our new neighborhoods, we're offering a few different floor plan styles. We have one that I have high hopes will be bringing to our area soon that has a master bedroom upstairs and one downstairs. I feel like that would be a floor plan that would be in high demand. Right now, our very best probably selling area is probably in Rice Hope, where you guys are talking about the data center at, because of all the exciting things that are not only coming there, right? I mean, it's just outside of Pooler, but you aren't in the mess that Pooler is, right? There's a lot of growth that's coming that way.
Whoa.
I mean, it's getting close, but Pooler has everything you can name. Right?
That's a
If you can
show.
name it, it's in Pooler, except for the Top Golf. And I hear they're getting a Top Golf Pepsi. So it's like the same thing, but just not Top Golf. So at that point, I think they'll have actually everything. And so Port Wentworth is getting there. I mean, when I was growing up, my family, they lived out in Reedsville, way out in Tanana County. And my stepmom would be like, we're going to town. And that meant we were going to the Savannah Mall. What's the point in going to Savannah now? The Savannah Mall is closed, right? First, but you just go to Pooler, you have the Tanger outlets, and then literally every restaurant you can possibly think of. So Pooler has become itself a destination, and with Rice Hope being just on the outside of it. And one thing it does have that not all of our neighborhoods have is more floor plans and price ranges than everywhere else. So there's not very many people that Rice Hope doesn't work for as far as trying to get in a good value, either if you want to keep your mortgage as affordable as possible, or if you do want to get a little bit of a more sizable home. And I mean, the amenities don't hurt, right? You have 3 pools and the lake with the dock and the sidewalks and the gym and the dog park and the soccer field and the amphitheater and the covered patio with the picnic tables and the putt-putt and I'm sure I'm forgetting the dog park. I mean, there's just everything in there. It's all that. And there's a grocery store at the front of the neighborhood. So like on your days off, you just get a golf cart. You don't even have to leave. There's a haircut place at the front. There's a Moe's if you like those big burritos. There's a Japanese place. They got a Marco's. I mean, it's
Welcome
just
to Moe's.
That's right. I mean, that's what I think when I think Moe's. Welcome to Moe's.
Favorite.
So it just has the most amount of things, right? And that's what attracts the most amount of eyeballs. Like when, you guys are listing a home, you want to be very careful where you put that price point because if somebody's got a home that's going to be right on that 300,000 line, you don't want to list it at 299, 990 because everyone that's looking from 300 to 350 doesn't see it, right?
Yes.
So there are those times when you want to be on that line just so that you get the Venn diagram, right? You want to have the circles going across each other.
Well, you named all the reasons why I love living here, so thank you very much for that, Tommy. I appreciate that.
Not only that, Patrick lives there.
Well, not only that, but I mean, we got great neighbors in here. We like to do events together.
But one pool.
I think,
But one pool.
There's 3 pools.
there's a kiddie pool, there's the regular pool, and then there's the lazy river.
Yeah.
Same, but different.
We had a
It's in the
chili
same
cook-off. It was
fenced-in
awesome.
area. Yeah, we did chili cook-off. Like we did, all kinds of great stuff. So like I said, yeah, I love it, Rice Hope. But so let me on that, we have the Savannah's favorite food enthusiast asking, Tommy, what model in Rice Hope is the most popular model right now, and how many more homes are going to be built in Rice Hope?
Right now, our very most popular model might very well be our Brandon floor plan. It's a 3-bedroom, 2-story home. It had always really been, yeah, exactly. And of course, it's Brandon's name, obviously, that really bumped up the popularity of it. But it's also, it's got a lot of nice things to it. Typically, it had been our Cali floor plan, but with it just being a little bit larger on the square footage and sadly, the way that things have gotten slightly less affordable recently, it's become a little bit easier to get into a Brandon plan than it has been to one of our Calis. I think
it's easier, you know what I'm saying?
Yes. And again, it's not about starting out with the big home, right? You start out with the home that works for you. My first home was tiny and terrible, but I also knew that my mortgage was going to be reasonable. And as I got paid more, it would be even, more enjoyable from there.
I'm growing in square footage too. It's okay. Don't worry.
Yes. That's the one thing that we can guarantee as we get older. You might not get taller, but you do grow in square footage. I very much enjoy that.
Yes, my favorite part.
And I think in total, we probably have we have 4 different sections that we build homes there. I think we probably have in between 150 and 200 more homes. So we have a few more to go, but we are also starting to get into the wrapping up phase as well.
Thank God.
Wow.
How clustered can you have that neighborhood?
Mega clustered.
Mega clustered.
That's what people like. And don't forget, that's where the affordability comes in at. This the efficiency.
The efficiency.
Right.
How fast can we build your house for how much?
I'll tell you, when we had Tracy on here, the soon-to-be mayor of Fort Wentworth. I don't know if you watched that episode, Tommy, but she was like, 300,000. Who the heck can afford $300,000? I was like, that's affordable right now. I mean, according to, I guess, I don't know who. I mean, I guess because the interest rates are where they're at with D.R. Horton, it makes it affordable, but like a $300,000 home to her doesn't seem achievable. So
I would agree. And that's really the big thing is yes, the prices are what they are, but the interest rate certainly makes it so that the folks that are locals, right, who are the ones we want to take care of the most, they are able to afford homes. I've sold homes to many, local police officers, military folks, a lot of our teachers in our area. So I would agree that it is a big number for sure. Anytime you get past $250,000, it's a high number. But it is something that once you do break it down into your 30-year mortgage with 12 months in every year, it's not as much as a rent would be and less in a lot of cases, because unfortunately rents are also very immense. Rents are immense.
Rents are immense.
Yeah.
Rents are immense. Hey, rents are immense. Hey, rents are immense. I like it. There you go.
All right. Well, if someone was buying a new construction home this month, what can they expect in terms of move-in timelines, warranties, and overall experience?
Yes. So we make the experience as enjoyable as possible. We'll start there with the experience because that's a big part of it. What home buying never is stress-free. That sadly is just the way of it. Mostly because of the cost of the homes, right? If they cost $20, it'd be easy peasy. I'll take every house that I can see. It's no problem. But they are very expensive. So that's where the stressful part comes in. But we try to minimize that with giving you the interest rates, which makes it more affordable to get the home that you want to get into. We allow you to keep more of your savings in your savings account so that you can get furniture for your new home instead of having to pour every dollar into closing costs and down payment. And we really try to pick things that you're going to want in your home that's going to make it so that you can, in those scenarios where you have maybe spent all your money up, you'll still have all the things that you need to live. You'll have most of your appliances. In some cases, we include refrigerators. You're going to have blinds in your home. We have a cool smart home system. And your yard comes fully sodded with an irrigation system. So it just makes the whole living process a little bit more stress-free.
Stress-free green grass is the goal, right?
Yes, I mean, people often ask, what they can do to make their grass greener. And well, I don't always have a lot of tips on that because everyone has different ideas on how green they want their grass. We can always look that up. I always suggest the Milorganite. I understand that makes it the greenest.
All right. Well, Tommy, thank you so much for coming on here and giving us what the incentives are in the D.R. Horton land. I hope you got a lot from the data center thing. I mean, we've been kind of looking at this thing just to try to figure out
All day long.
Have they said where it's supposed to be at? Is it basically going to be next to the Ghost Pirate Stadium?
No.
Can't think of any other place where it could be at.
Across the street, where that warehouse is supposed to be.
No.
Yeah. Like across the street, Tommy.
Well, we can do something about that.
24/7.
Everybody can do something about that if they go to the city council meeting on the 15th.
That's right.
So don't
City council meeting on the 15th at what time?
3:30.
3:30 is what time we need to show up in mass with signs.
Come there and hear. I'm not saying that anybody out there has sold our soul yet. What I'm trying to say is
3:30 on what day?
Our voice heard is all I'm trying to say.
3:30 on what day? A Tuesday?
Monday.
3:30 on a Monday when everyone's working. Good job, Port Wentworth. Good job.
Right.
No one can come out.
I mean, if you can come. But Tommy, thank you so much for coming. I appreciate it. Brandon, thank you as always for doing all the research and all that stuff for the data centers. And if you guys liked the video, I want to thank y'all, Josh, Savannah's favorite food enthusiast. And if you haven't seen our last video about Green Fire, definitely watch that one. It's really good. And then Climate Staffer 1087. Thank you for joining too, and everybody else has joined. If you haven't liked the video yet, please like it. I really appreciate it. Share it to anybody in Port Wentworth so that we can get the word out about these data centers, because I don't know what it's going to bring. I don't know all the facts, but from what we looked at today, it doesn't look amazing. So if you want to join the fight or you want to support it, come to the City Council meeting on December 15th. I really appreciate it. You guys watching. I'll talk to you guys soon.
Have a good night.
Good night.
Bye.